I went through a lot of camera gear this year, and these are my favorite ones. Some of these I have mentioned on the channel, and others I'm mentioning for the first time. Stick around and perhaps you'll end up adding some of these to your wish list. We got different types of gear for different categories, and in no particular order, we first got my favorite camera body of the year, which is the Sony FX30. It's compact, powerful, and feature-packed. Of course, we got the 4K 60, 4K 120, the burn-in LUTs, the XLR top handle, which I'm currently using, and overall excellent ergonomics. I got multiple videos on this, and you can check out my 1-year review after this video. This is not a camera that I would recommend for first-time content creators or videographers, but if you've been meaning to make that upgrade for a while, this is it. Now, if you're looking for a reliable gimbal, I have been personally using the DJI RS2. But it's been a long time since I've been using it because lately I'm just using tripods. But when I do use a camera and a gimbal, it's the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Whether you're looking to do more vlogging or are looking to get a safety camera on a budget, like stick it in the back room, get that wide angle, then this can do a lot of what you're looking for, but at an affordable price. And if your budget is less than $700, this is a great content creation camera and kit when you get the Creator Edition, which comes with an extra battery grip and, well, this isn't the extra battery grip, but it does come with an extra one, and it comes with a wireless microphone. But for those of us who really want a great lens with our Sony E-mount cameras, my favorite all-around camera lens is the Sigma 18-35 f1.8 for Canon. I adapt this lens to my Sony FX30 with the Sigma MC11 adapter. Despite this being a little big and a little bulky, if there was one camera body and one lens combo, this would be it. The aperture, of course, goes up to f1.8, which is great for low light, for bokeh, and the overall image quality coming out of this is excellently sharp. I would use this for photos and videos. Then when I can, I would pair this up with the big brother, the Sigma 50-100mm f1.8. But if you're tired of spending hundreds of dollars on camera gear, one of the more affordable accessories that I have in my travel kit is a 5-in-1 reflector. And it's handy because of its flexibility on location shoots. When I'm carrying around my Moment 10-liter sling, this fits in the tablet sleeve no problem, or the laptop sleeve of my everyday backpack. Otherwise, I recommend using a carabiner and hooking it onto one of your backpack straps for easy accessibility. Another great find for a more affordable price is this TT Artisan 60mm f2.8. This is an APS-C lens and it's used for macro photography. I use it specifically for product shots for the Instagram or B-roll for these YouTube videos. It's not the best lens in terms of chromatic aberration or focus breathing, but it's still a great lens. I actually prefer using this than attaching any diopter or macro extension tube to any of my existing lenses. I find it so good that it makes me embarrassed at how much dust and dirt that I leave on some of my gear when I'm shooting the B-roll. But when using a macro lens like this, you can't always rely on your camera's in-body image stabilization. Nothing beats a good old tripod like the iFootage 65-inch aluminum tripod. This thing holds 13.2 pounds, but for the most part, I have a light setup going on the top of this, unless I attach a slider on top. One of my favorite features about this is the leveling lock that it has, so that when I'm out traveling or at some kind of odd location, I can go ahead and just lock off that horizon just right. And if I need to get a low shot, I don't have to go ahead and take out this center column and invert it. Rather, I can go ahead and take out this center column and then go ahead and extend these legs as long and low as I need to. They do make a carbon fiber version of this particular tripod, but since I'm not really traveling with this thing, I just stick to the aluminum version, and it's fine. The fluid head that I use on this is a Manfrotto MVH 500AH. I've had this thing for a long time and it's got a great feel to it and just enough resistance for me. But for a lighter setup, I do use the iFootage Komodo, which has a little more resistance. At the top of these tripod heads too, I do keep a Falcam F38 multi-hole clamp for a quick release compatibility for my Sony FX 30 cages, which just slides on like so, and then push the button. Easy on, easy off. For a smaller footprint and quick shooting, I do use this YC Onion Panita aluminum version monopod. I was attracted to this monopod not just for the price, but for the single-handed operation when it comes to adjusting the height. Just press this button right here, flip the lever, okay, just drop down the leg, and then flip the lever down again, and it's locked. The speed and efficiency that I get out of this tripod in this studio is just invaluable. For on the go, I have two camera bags that I've been using lately. For the first one, we have the Moment 10-liter sling bag, which is big enough to hold my iPad and camera gear. Well, you know, for the one camera body and maybe one or two lenses. I have been gifted the Nomadic 8-liter sling, but despite the handy passive lock system that it has, I still find myself desiring more space out of this bag when I want to carry around my iPad for working on the go. But when I want an even bigger bag, I have been leaning towards the Peter McKinnon Everyday Bag by Nomadic. Thank you, Ryan, for helping me getting this. If there's anything that you take away from this bag, just know that these are the most comfortable straps that I've ever felt and ever had on a camera bag. But of course, it's got your traditional laptop sleeve on the side, top access, and you can fit a lot of your camera gear in here while still maintaining a smaller profile than the Peter McKinnon travel bag. If you plan on shooting a lot of things with natural light, no problem. But if you're gonna do a lot of indoor shooting and even shooting in your home studio, then you may need an affordable cob light, like the Amaran 60X. Any 60-watt light these days are great and have a small form factor. But for me, one of my favorite features about this particular light is the built-in V-mount plate, which we can go ahead and access here on the side, right there. I have V-mount batteries, so that's already a bonus, but Amaran does already give you this dual Sony NP-F battery adapter to use with this light. And of course, as you see, I have the batteries too, which are not included. Before I upgraded to the Amaran 100X for this setup, I was using this for a while. For many content creators, this light is plenty enough, especially for indoor studios. I'm not a fan of this tilting stand adapter, but it does the job. If you need a light on the go, this setup is plenty. If you need a softbox though, I do recommend getting a big 35-inch from any brand that fits your budget. I use the Aperture Light Dome, the first edition, but they don't make it anymore. If you need a more travel-friendly light that is low profile, I also enjoy this LumaPanel Pro 2.0. This is the widest yet slimmest LED lights that I take for travel. It's literally passport size, and it fits perfectly into small places in my camera bag. It's got the RGB and special effects like most other lights, but most of the time I use it as a key light for indoor photos on the go. As a content creator who focuses on camera gear, one of the tools that has made it easier for me to record my camera screen has been an external recorder, specifically the Axoon CMO. It's this little adapter that uses an HDMI cord that goes to your camera, and the other end goes to a USB cord that plugs into your phone, and which is all powered by a Sony NP-F battery. Yes, we have monitoring tools like waveform, LUTs, focus peaking, and all that good stuff. But what I mainly use it for is just for screen recording to my phone, so that it's easier for me to share the files from the phone to my computer. And the things that I record are like autofocus, menu settings, and all that good stuff. When I finish recording, I just send it over to my laptop using AirDrop. This is a big workflow convenience, as it's one less memory card or hard drive that I have to plug into my computer and hit import. But even when I record footage to my phone, I still have to record footage to my cameras. And the memory cards that I've been investing in every year on Black Friday and Amazon Prime are V60 and V90 cards. I've been investing in Lexar 128GB V60 cards and ProGrade V90 cards for my Sony FX30. This is so I'm able to record certain codecs and frame rates, especially when I'm shooting things like 4K 60 and 4K 120. Using these kinds of cards, if they're compatible with your camera, will help you with faster read and write speeds, which is great for quicker file transfers. For photos, you can get away with 64GB, whatever your needs are. But if you're looking for a place to store all your footage off your camera, I've been using this SanDisk SSD, the 2TB version. It hasn't failed me yet, and I use these for on-the-go editing. I just don't recommend getting the 4TB version, as other content creators had reported to these failing. The 4TB. I have heard other people enjoying the Samsung like T5s, T7s, but I personally haven't used any of them before. Another way that I've been carrying my cameras other than bags is through camera straps. And one that I've been experimenting and trying out is from Falcam. One of my things about this brand and their camera straps is how Even when you're not using it, you can go ahead and magnetize the ends together so that you can go ahead and strap it to yourself, like so, and move on. If you look closely, not only do I use Falcom camera straps, but I also have been using their camera cages. I've struggled to find the camera cage that works best for me. And this past year, I've been filming both horizontal and vertical content. And I found that the Falcom cage works best for me because it has a built-in arc assist on the bottom and on the side. Using a Falcom F38 clamp works the best, but you can also use arc assist clamps from other brands as well. Of all the changes that I made this year, I've been transitioning to using the editing software DaVinci Resolve for video, specifically for the color grading tools and overall editing experience. I've been going back and forth between Final Cut Pro and DaVinci Resolve depending on the project. But I've been using DaVinci Resolve for more involved workflows for color, as well as multicam edits. Now, if you don't know, Resolve also has a subtitle feature where it analyzes your audio and builds out subtitles for you automatically. But I found that using Descript has been much easier for me when it comes to editing and formatting the text itself. This way has been more streamlined for me. But of all the software that I've been using this year, one of the best ones that I've been using for photo editing is Narrative Select. Normally when I use Adobe Lightroom, I start by culling my photos or filtering my good photos from my bad ones and have to constantly be zooming in and zooming out, rating my photos one by one by one by one. Narrative Select has made it much easier for me because it already has a zoomed in mode on its side panel. And it already has a rating system where it finds the sharpest images with the best focus, as well as the ones that have the best eye contact with your subjects. So instead of taking 30 minutes to an hour to look, think, and cull through your hundreds of photos, it only takes me 5 to 15 minutes. When it comes to saving time and reinvesting it in other things that matter more to you, gear does matter. And I have no regrets in investing in any of these. So when you're at that point where you can invest in better gear and can justify the upgrades, consider these tools. Now, if you're wondering about the other types of gear that I use on the daily, you'll just have to stick around the channel to find out. But let me know down in the comments what you think about my list and if there's anything that you would recommend. Until next time, go out there and shoot for the life that matters. See ya.